Here's a recap for the WWE Smackdown episode that aired on February 7th, 2025, that will hopefully save you some time because these 3-hour Smackdowns are getting rough to go through. It's like 2 hours worth of content being stretched out for 3 hours. Well, your announcers for the night were Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. In the opening segment, we have Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE Champion, along with Jey Uso, the Men's Royal Rumble winner, in the ring having a confrontation with Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, which will lead to a match later on in the show. The first match was a Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, and this was Piper Niven with Chelsea Green, the WWE Women's United States Champion, versus Bianca Belair with Naomi. Belair and Naomi are the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Bianca Belair had a solid, decisive win in this match with her finishing move, the KOD. Bianca Belair will now join Liv Morgan as one of the 6 competitors in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. We also learned tonight that Katana Chance and Kaden Carter have been transferred from the Raw roster to the SmackDown roster. Match number 2 was a non-title match where the team Pretty Deadly, consisting of Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, took on Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, the WWE Tag Team Champions. SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis said the team of Pretty Deadly would get a title shot in the future if they get a victory here. Tommaso Ciampa tried to get an underhanded win by holding on to the middle rope after getting Elton Prince in a roll-up pin. Announcer Wade Barrett said Ciampa had hooked Elton Prince's tights for leverage as well. However, Kit Wilson then got in the ring and kicked Tommaso Ciampa in the head, and Elton Prince then reversed the roll-up pin, so he was now pinning Ciampa. Now, Elton Prince was the one cheating during the pin, as he was the one holding on to the middle rope, and this allowed Elton Prince and Kit Wilson to get an underhanded win, but you could say turnabout is fair play since Tommaso Ciampa started it by holding on to the middle rope when he was pinning Elton Prince earlier. Match number 3 was a no disqualification triple threat match where the winner becomes one of the 6 competitors in the Men's Elimination Chamber match on March 1st, 2025. The match was LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre, who we learned had just transferred from the Raw brand to the SmackDown brand today. At the end, just as LA Knight was about to do his finishing move on Jimmy Uso, Drew McIntyre ran up on both of them from behind and did his finishing move, the Claymore kick, to the back of LA Knight's head, which resulted in both LA Knight's and Jimmy Uso's heads crashing together. Drew McIntyre then pinned LA Knight and got a solid, decisive win in this no disqualification match, so he'll now be joining John Cena and CM Punk as one of the 6 competitors in the Men's Elimination Chamber match. In the next segment, announcer Joe Tessitore talked about how Sami Zayn is currently out of action indefinitely after suffering spinal compression and extreme nerve damage after being attacked by Kevin Owens at the end of Monday Night Raw on Netflix earlier this week. Match number 4 on the show was Akira Tozawa from the Raw roster versus Carmelo Hayes. This match occurred because at the Royal Rumble, Hayes attacked Tozawa as he headed down the entrance ramp to get to the Men's Royal Rumble match, and Tozawa was taken to the back after that and never got a chance to compete in the Royal Rumble. In tonight's match, Carmelo Hayes had a solid, decisive win with his finishing move, nothing but net. Up next, announcer Joe Tessitore talked about how WWE reached out to Paul Heyman to try to get an update on Roman Reigns' condition after Seth Rollins first double curb stomped Roman Reigns' head and neck on the concrete floor at the Royal Rumble by using one foot to stomp on Reigns' head while the other foot stomped on his neck. I rewatched this several times and it looked really sick, like Reigns' neck could have legitimately been broken being on the receiving end of something like that. Then after this, Seth Rollins curb stomped Roman Reigns' head on the steel steps. Well, Paul Heyman was of no help as he did not provide any sort of update on Reigns' condition. Next, they plugged WWE's new weekly show, WWE Evolve, that will feature new and up-and-coming wrestlers against those in NXT. It'll be exclusively on streaming site Tubi every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, starting Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. After this, they showed Jerry the King Lawler in the crowd as the show was being filmed in his hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. Next, there was an in-ring confrontation between Women's Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair had returned from knee surgery at the Royal Rumble after being out of action since December of 2023. The crowd booed Charlotte Flair and was cheering for Tiffany Stratton. Nia Jax then came out with Candice LeRae and informed everyone that general manager Nick Aldis granted her a women's championship match at SmackDown next week against champ Tiffany Stratton. Match number 5 was a women's elimination chamber qualifying match. Candice LeRae versus Alexa Bliss, who returned to action at the Royal Rumble for the first time in 2 years due to maternity leave. Alexa Bliss had a solid, decisive win after her finishing move, the Abigail DDT, similar to Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas's finishing move, Sister Abigail. So Alexa Bliss will join Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and 3 additional competitors who have yet to be determined for the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Next, they plugged the new WWE weekly show, WWE Legends and Future Greats, or LFG for short, which will air every Sunday night on A&E at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting on Sunday, February 16th, 2025. Match number 6 was Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes had a solid, decisive win when Cody Rhodes pinned Tama Tonga after his finishing move, the Crossroads. After the match, Solo Sikoa made his return to WWE television for the first time since January 6 on WWE's first episode of Raw on Netflix when he lost a no disqualification match to Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa attacked Cody Rhodes and wiped him out with his finishing move, the Samoan Spike. And with that, the show went off the air. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again after a while.